ons gaan hier so staan waar jy nou staan, gaan ons staan en praat. So, ja.
Thank you.
Thank you. Geez, I just want to start off by saying a huge thank you. I am absolutely blown away with the picture. Wow. Just like it. This is really incredible. I'm just going to quickly just run briefly what the idea is here. Mandy really didn't want to have a morbid funeral or like a memorial even. She just wanted to have a celebration of her life. And we are gonna try and recreate that for her. Okay, so I'm gonna ask Brian to say a few things. And this is Brian, a dear friend of ours. And then we're gonna just have people also I'm gonna open the floor for everybody that wants to say something. Anybody's welcome. We've got the place for a while, so please, there's no time limit. It's just in memory of her. I'm going to open the floor for family, and then there's a moment of silence. The moment of silence is, unfortunately, it's load shedding, Murphy's Law. We had it all set up with a live stream of YouTube, which I will share with everybody afterwards. I've created this page for Mandy. The last year that she was with me, she documented the whole experience on video. So after this, the YouTube channel is going to be available for everybody. The little video that I've created is just a moment, that's my moment of silence for her, where we can it's her favorite song in the whole world, and we managed to get some memories of her on this whole thing, and we're just going to keep it alive for her afterwards. And if you want to say something on the channel, please forward it to me so I can put it on there. I would love to see and just get to know people that I haven't even met in my life before. All right, so bye, donkey. Okay. Right.
Thank you for asking me. I'm just going to read the Bible and pray, but before I do that, I don't know Mandy as well as you did, but she looked after my house just a few weeks ago. I had a holiday, and I came back and said goodbye to her and gave her a hug, and I heard from Liza that she really enjoyed staying in my house, and it was wonderful for me to have someone to stay in my house. Liza also mentioned to me that recently Mandy came to a faith in the Lord. So I want to read a passage from the Bible, which I think will help us to realize the loving God that Mandy came to, the loving God who is here now. And it's from Luke 15, and you'll know it. Jesus said there was a man who had two sons. The younger one said to the father, "Father, give me my share of the estate." So he divided his property between them. Not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to the fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and threw his arms around him and kissed him." That's the kind of God we come to, that Mandy came to, a God who is loving and runs to meet us. So as we celebrate Mandy's life, it's also very sad. We can't get away from the tears. As we celebrate Mandy's life, let us celebrate it in the knowledge that God is our Father who loves us. So I'm going to pray now. And as we pray, I want to think especially of those who are close to Mandy. Kyle, Gabriel, Chasney, Andy, Natasha, Michael, Liza and Dave, Ryan, Zane and Aaron, Tons and Omar, Tossie, Andy, Eileen, and Maggie. And I probably left some out, but I understand those are the family who are particularly close. So, loving Father God, as we remember Mandy, we give thanks for her life. And we ask you to be with us in our grief. And thank you that you have made a way for us by rising from the dead, that we too can have life after death. So comfort us now with your presence, now and always. And we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Off by thanking Mega for bringing Shanzai today. It is absolutely, I thank you so very much. Um, I also just want to take this moment and say thank you for being her mom and taking everything. Shanzai is Mandy's daughter, and Netta adopted Shanzai and raised her, and she's the most amazing mother, Shanzai. Mandy left you with an incredible person, and I'm so honored to say that Tanini Netta kon nie afgevat het. I can't imagine if you had to land up anywhere else and you're still part here. The same, Tannie Tosie is nie hier nie, maar Tannie Tosie, verskriklik baie dankie. Tannie Netta, ekskuus hierdie tot vir Tannie. Ek weet dis ietsie kleins, maar dis vir Tannie Netta. En hierdie is vir Tannie Tosie. Asseblief. Michael, Natasha, and Andy, my brothers and sisters that I still have. Thank you for flying and supporting me as being there for family. I cannot thank you enough for making the effort for coming this way. Sitoko, thank you so very much. This is a very long-standing friend of Mandy. She also made it all the way from Joburg. I know Mandy would have been really happy. I want to just speak about Mandy in the last few days that she was with me. Mandy was my person. Mandy was my person. She wasn't just my sister. She was my absolute best friend. She's the one that always pitched up, whether it was always difficult for her. I would always be sure that I was there for her. And I am so honored to be able to do this for my sister today. I could not have asked for a better, bigger sister. Flip, she was not easy. She was the most stubborn person that I've ever come across, but she was determined and she was true. There was nothing false of Mandy, and that's what I take from my sis. And what I've learned from her the last few days that she was with me, what she tried to just enforce my family and everybody is unconditional love. Mandy was forever looking for her little tribe, and I know she's found her tribe today, which is she's booging, wooging, as she would call it. The last few days, she went very humanely. We got sick. I never take off work. If everybody knows me, I'm like Mandy was. We work. And I was forced to be at home, and I got to spend an incredible week with my sister. We didn't know it was the time. She came into the salon about a week and a half to 2 weeks before she passed, after her last chemo session, and she said she doesn't know what to do with this information, but they told her there's nothing more they can do for her, and she's got about a year left. So, we got given a freaking time frame. We thought we still had a year, but we're gonna make it the best year, or we're gonna fight it still. And we had plans. She had plans. She wanted to survive this. The last night, the Saturday night, we actually had a bath together, like we did as kids and sisters, and we played a game called Sheena Clean Up the Jungle. It was super cool. That evening, Saturday evening, she got terribly ill from the flu, and Carl got her to False Bay. Long story. Eventually, my husband took her to Tigerberg, and he phoned me when he said no, she's asking for me, and She died very peacefully. She didn't die alone. I was in her arms, and I think that for me is spectacular. That she didn't struggle. She didn't. Some of my clients told me of stories of their husband that had to go through that last year when they were given the time frame. It was horrendous. So she didn't die in vain. Her body, she got her wishes. I managed to get her body in for donation with University of Stellenbosch. They contacted me thanking me for the body and saying, there's so much research. Would I mind if they keep the body for 2 years? So there's so much work that they can do on this body. It's just incredible. So I've written a little poem for her. Mandy, we can talk about the 7th of February or the 20th of May. What matters most of all is that dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time she spent on earth, and now only those who loved her knows what that is worth. For what matters most, for what matters is not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters most is how we live and love, and how we spend our dash. So we think long and hard. Are there things that you would like to change? For you never know how much time is left, even when given a time frame. If we can just slow down enough to consider real love and be true, always understand what others feel, be less quick to anger, and show more appreciation. Love the people in our lives like we never loved before. We treat each other with respect and often wear a smile, remembering that this little dash might only last a little while. Mandy's dash taught me unconditional love and divine timing. Um, thank you. I'd just like to give the floor for somebody else to say something.
Granddaughter was killed. Uh, it was a terrible, terrible event. And she was just before her fifth birthday. That's the year 2000. We were sitting around in Johannesburg. People had gathered, and we were sad. And a very good friend of ours, who's the church at one of the bigger churches in Cape Town, in Johannesburg, walked in, who's known our family quite a long time. And she said, I want to talk to Fiona. Fiona being the wife of my mother, sorry. And she did. And she said to Fiona, last night I saw Jesus with Becky, the child, walking beside her up a hill. Now we can say that's rubbish, we can say it's not. We can say it how we like, but that's what we heard from somebody who is an exceptionally trustworthy counselor in a large church. That's not going to counsel anybody. So I just want to say God has walked with Mandy, and I'm grateful. Been an incredible example to all of us. She's lost her best friend, and she's done it with dignity and with love. Good for you. God is with you. And that's God's work. He has said He will cover us with His love at all times. We need to respond to Him, yes.
Yes. My name is Anton. But the problem with you, not love. Yeah. She actually told me, she actually showed me how to be love and to love. So that's all. That's very special.
I never got to meet you, kiss you, hug you, or got to know you, but I knew that you were there. I cried countless tears since you unwillingly left me with the feeling of never knowing where I came from, the feeling of never getting to know you or speak to you. And I wish you could see me now and how much I've grown. I wish I could tell you I'm studying teaching and I'm even writing my own children's book. But as the lyrics say, we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through like you always do.
It's so interesting when I wrote this note to Mandy. I actually had the lost son analogy in my head, and I don't know why because it's not like I think either of us were ever was lost. Um, I think it was just due to circumstances and things happening in our lives that we probably never found each other and found people. So I wrote my long lost sister. Um, I have a few fond memories of us, and I wish I had more. But I'm so grateful to have the recent memories, and they're so very close to my heart. I'm so appreciative of our connection over the last year, your smile, and your absolute beautiful open happy face. Your, your awe and amazement, the reactions that you had when I was telling you stories, your positive outlook on life, especially during this time. I love you, rest well, thank you, and I love you. So yeah, I think I saw Mandy last before Liza's wedding when I was 13 years old. And last year I was 38. So it was a long, long time ago. So I sometimes feel so like, time took memories away from us or experiences. Um, but I'm just happy that in this moment now, what we could have the last year was just so special and amazing. But yeah, like you say, everything of magic and what you said, it's just just beautiful, beautiful, really large. So, hey, some snacks came. You're welcome.
My name. There we go. Look, two really cool things about Mandy. Um, she discovered a really really cool place. If you drive through Gordons Bay, almost maybe 5 minutes out of Gordons Bay, and once we stopped to do a little walk with her and something. It was such a random place, and everyone that knows me, I love outdoors, nature, boys, and rivers, and sea and stuff. And it was just perfect. This perfect little cave, just probably like 10, 15 minutes up the road. And I just thought it was super cool. Like she had discovered this, I think, this car. It was their little spot, and I thought that was super cool. Like you can go to the big lookout spots and the small, well, the normal bikini beaches and the cliche places, but Mandy found this really cool little cave, and it's really pretty. So I thought that was very cool. Other thing amazing about your sister was, okay, the love is it's amazing, of course, but she lost a lot of stuff like all the time. She was a little bit kind of nuts in a way, like when I first met her, but actually as I got to know her, I realized she wasn't. Like she tried to build up a base, but
she had this amazing sense of I'm okay, I don't need the stuff, and it was really, really admirable. So it was just yes, it was the love. Also, like this person, like she was okay, she came to stay with us, but she was fine, and then she was up in the Popo, and she was fine, and I just really admired that. I thought, we all try to build our little castles and whatever, but she was okay on her own, and the car's a big kind of anchor for her as well. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, but for me, the last kind of 6 months having her live with us was really special. It was a really tough time. I had two women living in the house. And that
Stubborn
was,
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She says, Mandy is stubborn. This one.
No.
But yeah, it was tough, but it was very special. And Mandy was going through a lot of pain. I think it was only towards Liza looking at her phone, we actually realized how much pain she was going through. And she was a tough cookie. She really was. And through that, she's still involved. She was at Liza's birthday the week before, which was amazing. I mean, Liza said, "Oh, it was a perfect birthday. It was just such a, even though you weren't there, Ross."
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
He made up for it.
But it was just great. And Mandy was there with a big, beautiful bonfire, and it was just a really great birthday. And I think, we can say, like, we could have maybe had another year with her, but the time we had with her was also a tremendous gift. And even the little, I'm going to get emotional, but even like the bath that the sisters had, like, I walked in, I was like, whoa, okay.
Wrong place.
Yeah. But I mean, even like when I came across, I thought, oh, that's beautiful, And yeah, so it's beautiful. Just seeing like Liza lying with her sister in the hospital bed, it was bittersweet. It was a terrible moment, but it was beautiful as well. So, okay, a little poem written by Mary Elizabeth Frey. Do not stand at my grave and weep. Um, I am not there. I do not sleep. I'm a thousand winds that blow. I'm a diamond that glints on snow. I am the sunlight that on ripened grain. I'm the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I'm the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I'm not there. I did not die. Thanks.
Mandy wrote. It's in the program, but it's up larger, so I can read it. Yeah. To all who cares to hear this, keep it real. Fuck it. Let your hair down and have fun. My little bit of advice: you are responsible for your own joy. Happiness comes from within. Focus on your own actions. If you want to change the world, you're wasting your time. You lead by example. Choose your battles wisely. Unconditional love is the main ingredient for the recipe for success. Our bodies are but a vessel, a vehicle for our inner beings to travel this physical dimension. When we die, our vehicle ceases, but our essence, the energy, carries on and on. You cannot destroy energy. You can create hell on earth for yourself and for those around you, or you can adjust your attitude, which determines your altitude, and create heaven. Words can be used to heal and create. Wonderful. But words can cause wars and create havoc. Choose your words wisely. When you smile, the world smiles with you. When you cry, people tend to avoid you. Moral: memorize some jokes. And this is written by Mandy in Somerset West, 29th of September 2022.
And so after the poem, so I just want to say, well, that was I found the last will testimony, and that is what we got, and I tried to put it in the program and also on the little video we're going to show now. sorry, we did plan. This was the plan, and our big screen TV, like I said. But it looks like there's power though.
Maybe it's back on. No, but that's everyone just like fighted for her. My Kyle drove for her. Kyle was Mandy taught Kyle how to drive.
Kyle's over there.
No, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Carry on.
So Mandy was my loving turn, and I just want to say, everyone in the world who has breast cancer, any type of cancer, will be able to see the video on YouTube, and everyone might would love it, but we just love everyone, and I love Mandy, and everyone just loves her. I hope you have a great day.
Thanks, Mandy.